Hi guys, I'm Lakshmi from the Instagram account An Indian Girl's Journey. I'm a doctor from India, and after finishing up my medical school in India, I decided to pursue my residency in the United States. I have matched into an internal medicine residency program at a reputed hospital in the United States as of March of this year. I think I'll start my residency in June or July of this year if things go well. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that concerns all of us. I have done this in the past 25 years of my life, and as a physician, I think I'm going to have to do a lot more of this in the upcoming years. Now, studying is something that we all do, but not all of us get great scores or study in a productive manner. A question that I get from a lot of people is how many hours I studied for a certain exam. Studying for long hours every day doesn't necessarily translate to a great score on the exam. The quality of studying done is more important in this context than the quantity. Someone could be sitting in front of a book for hours every day and still not learning anything substantial. I have met a lot of people like this in medical school. They spend hours in the library, but when it comes to their scores, they don't do so well. So here are my tips on how to study efficiently. Now, the first tip that I have for you guys is to figure out your own learning style. This is something that takes a lot of trial and error, and I don't think I have still perfected my study style, but I'm pretty close to it. The way to figure out your style is by trying out multiple things, and when you try out multiple things, you notice a certain pattern on what is working for you and what is not. Once you figure out what is working for you, you can just stick to that. If you study better in the morning and don't get anything into your head at night, wake up early every day to study and relax more in the night. And if the things are the other way around for you, you can study late into the night and wake up late in the morning if you don't have to go to college or a job or something like that. And if listening to things help you retain things better, watch more videos and listen to audiobooks. And there are people for whom making notes is a really good way to learn things. But there are people who take too long to take notes, so that doesn't work for them. Find out what is your style and then stick to it. The next tip that I have for you guys is to start your day right. Do not start the day with social media, watching YouTube videos, and so on. Start your day in the most positive manner, freshen up, you have your breakfast, have a good cup of coffee, and immediately get to studying. I found myself really slackening and being unproductive the rest of the day when I started my day with half an hour of social media. So if this is something that you've noticed about yourself, definitely do that. The next tip that I have for you guys is to use the Pomodoro technique of studying, and this is something that has been scientifically proven to be effective in learning. So the human mind is very easily distracted, and we don't have the capability to focus on something for prolonged periods of time. So this technique is where you study and focus really hard for a certain period, and then you take a break and you reward yourself for a couple minutes. So with this technique, you can either choose to study for half an hour and take a break of 5 minutes, or you can choose to study for an hour and take 10-minute breaks. So whichever way works for you is okay as long as you do it. There are various apps that also promote this technique, so be sure to find out those apps and use them. The fourth tip is to put your phone out of your reach when you're studying. And this is something that really distracts me. If I have my phone within my arm's reach, I'll keep reaching out for it and checking social media or doing something else on it and distracting myself. So what I used to do was I used to give my phone to my mom or just keep it in another room just to make sure that I don't keep reaching out for it every 5 to 10 minutes. And this is very effective, you guys, so I definitely recommend following this. The next tip that I have for you guys is to take sufficient breaks, and I cannot stress enough on how important this is, especially when you're preparing for an exam like USMLE, which takes a lot of time. If you push yourself in the quest to be very productive for months, you can get burnt out and it can be counterproductive. So it is really important to take breaks, whether it be 10-minute breaks between 2 hours of studying, or a break that goes as long as 2 days, where you can just relax and replenish your energy. And during those well-deserved breaks that you're taking for yourself, make sure to do something that makes you happy and ends up making you feel rejuvenated. Don't go out with that friend who makes you feel depressed and is very toxic for you. Do something that just, is refreshing, like cooking something or watching a nice movie. Whatever it is, do whatever it takes to make you happy. And especially with exams like USMLE, where you're studying for a long time, I'm talking about a couple of months, it's really important to be sustainable and not lose your mental health in the process. So do whatever it takes to stay happy. I know it's hard to study for long months, but if you do something every day that makes you feel good about yourself, that can go a long way. Making goals and planning things is all well and good, but make sure that you create your goals such that they are sustainable and actually reachable. If you set unrealistic goals for yourself, you end up feeling sad and demotivated at the end of the day because you did not achieve it. And even if the goals are sustainable and for some reason on a certain day you could not achieve it, give yourself some slack and forgive yourself. My 8th tip for today is to cut down on social media. And this is something you should do close to any important exam that you have. Obviously, you cannot cut out social media for the rest of your life, but if you have any exam that's coming up, at least 1 or 2 months before it, it's really advisable to cut down social media and focus down on the exam. Before any of the USMLE exams, I used to black out social media for at least a couple of weeks, and that really worked for me. The 9th tip, and one of the most important tips that I have for you guys today, is to not get bogged down by what others are doing. You might have a friend who has finished 3 rounds of revision of all the subjects, or a friend who's doing a certain resource that you have never used. It's okay. You have decided what you are going to do and you're going to stick to it. I feel to a certain extent social media also makes it worse because you get to see what others are up to and you get this fear of missing out. So, blacking out social media also helps in this direction. And now the last tip for today is to make lists, timetables, schedules, plans, whatever works for you. Now, personally for me, timetables and schedules don't work for me because I'm kind of a spontaneous learner. But something that works for me is having lists. If I have a list of all the topics that I have to cover, it really helps me because after finishing each and every topic, I get to, cut it out or put a tick against it, which somehow is very motivating for me. So whenever I have to study a certain subject, I would create a list of all the topics within that subject and cross them out as and when I finish them. And I found this, great sense of accomplishment every time I used to get to scratch out something. And that was my take on studying efficiently and improving your productivity. I hope this video helped you guys in some way. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You may also follow me on Instagram to see my journey so far. I will also try to make more videos about my journey going forward. Do comment below on recommendations on what you would like to see more of on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys.